Hi folks, thanks for joining me. You see we've got another speaker here on the bench, and this comes to me from a long distance friend. He wanted a second opinion on an open field coil, and I've looked at it, and sure enough we've got an open field coil, so his troubleshooting was spot on. One thing I wanted to share, and I may have shown this before in the past, I can't recall, so if I did, my apologies, but you can see I've taken some lancets. I've cut the one end off, I've made some nice hooks, and then you take the sharper end here, and it gives you a way to make non-intrusive test measurements here off of your lead wires as close as possible to the transformer itself without doing damage to the wiring, or if so, very minimal, because you can see the size of the lancet or the points there are just like needles. So that comes in very, very handy as a troubleshooting tool. I used that technique here, got down as close as I could to the coil itself, and same result. So my next step is to get this output transformer off and see if we can get down in here to some of the wraps and make a quick repair. If not, this may end up in the landfill. We'll see, time will tell. Anyway, my next steps real quick, I'm going to go ahead and desolder these leads here so I can get the voice coil free itself, and then I'll get the output transformer here removed from the speaker frame, and then we'll look to go in here and take a razor and see if I can separate this cardboard gasket from the frame. I may have to soak this in a solvent to loosen things up, and the idea here would be to get the spider itself, and there's a jump past that, there's a couple fasteners here, one on each side, that hold the old spider in place. See if I can get the cone, the spider, and the voice coil out of here, out of the frame itself, and then get to a position possibly where I can actually punch this center pole piece out from the inside or from this direction, so I can actually get to the field coil itself. The field coil resides in this area, and there's a humbucking coil that resides in this area. So let me show you what that looks like. I drew this out here by hand. I'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. So you can see the voice coil itself, one side attaches to the secondary of the output transformer, while the other lead comes up, attaches itself to the humbucking coil. And you can see the other side of the humbucking coil comes down to the secondary of the output transformer. Here's the field coil I mentioned. It's open here in the area I've got shaded in orange. It connects back to the two larger pins on the plug itself, and the two smaller, of course, being the primary to the transformer. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Hope you guys will join me. This may be a maybe one video plus this one, or we may continue this on for 2 or 3 videos, depending on how far we can go with this. Just wanted to share that with you guys. For everyone that watched the Silvertone restoration, I appreciate you doing so, following along. Hopefully you found it helpful. There's still more housekeeping to be done there, and maybe one more video on the RF alignment. Thanks again, folks.